Okay, here's the wigwag with its controller. You can see the power coming in over here from the track, and then it goes off through those wires to wigwag. And I'll operate a robot program here, and I can turn wigwag on. You'll notice the blue light came on. I think you can see it on the left there, and that means that there's a message for this board. DCC packets are being sent to this board. You could probably also see on the lower right, lower part of the IC that there's a green light. That means that it's activating function 1. And you probably can see wigwag moving, covering and uncovering its red LED. And I'll stop it here. It's in the packet, and you can see the light went out. But I'm still sending packets to wigwag. That's why it's blue. I'm sending a turn off packet. Okay. Over here, let's move this so we can see the switch. Sort of like that. Okay, you can see the white cable coming out from the track. That's the control signals and feedback signals. And you can also see that there's a green and white twisted pair that goes over to the power connector. We can control that from here, switch. If you look carefully, you can see the points are in the through position. So I'm going to change them to out. So here we go, out. Okay, so you saw it switch. So the points move. And switch them back. Okay, if we focus in on the controller, you can see that that blue light is on again. Blue light indicating that I'm sending packets to this switch, to the switch decoder. I'm going to just send one to wigwag for a second, and you'll see that blue light go out. Okay, so I'm not sending packets there anymore. But I'll send the same packet again to through, and there's a red and a green LED next to each other just below the relay. And for half a second, you'll see that turn green when I go through. That flashed on for about a half a second. Just behind the relays, there's a red and a green LED, and that just shows the position of the switch as detected. Maybe you can see the little bit of red light coming out there. I'll switch it back the other way and see the green light. Every time I send it, you'll see that the lights change, indicating that if I do this, you'll see the red LED flash, and that means I'd like to move the controller to change it. You'll also see that when I change it, that the red LED flashes. And what that means is, you see the little flash of the red LED next to the blue one. What that means is that packets are getting wiped out because that switch uses too much current for us, just for a brief moment. So we are losing packets over the air or over the wires. Let's see if we can move out a little bit now. Too wide. Look at this, so we can see the setup here. I don't know if we're going to be able to see all of this at the same time, but we'll give it a shot. I'll give you an example of homing. I'll put Bonds over here. Put Santa over here. Oops, let's put him on the track. And in fact, I'll start the routine that does a very simple, does a very simple Vegas routine. So here we go. There's going to be 16 seconds of dead time here where nothing's happening because the power up routine. It turns on X10 units one at a time. So after it actually starts, it'll test move one of the trolleys. Okay, it tested that one and ran it for 7/10 of a second, then it moves it back. So now it knows which train that is. So now it's driving it. Notice it changed the switch. Now change the switch for the Santa, and Santa then goes home. Okay, so here's the beginning of the scenario. The simple scenario: stop at the station, go to the end and stop. Then Santa comes out of the tunnel after the truck sweepers stop at the station. Go back to the tunnel. Switch the track, move this trolley back to the station, stop there, and then send that trolley home. Now Santa will leave this time. Santa out to the station and stop. Santa out to the end and stop. And then train Bond out to the station. Bond's back home, and Santa back to the station, and then Santa back home. Okay, I'll show you just this one other thing here. And by going like this, and maybe tighten it up. And when the train gets to the station, so it's at the station, just before it leaves, it turns on wigwag. And when it gets to the station, it turns off wigwag. And when it gets to the end of it. So the second train, because it's not crossing the guard zone, it doesn't set that off. But this is all just shows in software. So now, before Bonds leaves the end, it turns on wigwag, and then it turns it off, and then it goes home. Okay, so that's basically it for the motors. Okay, I wanted to show you this crazy feature of this track. If this little segment of track here and this little segment of track is or it's this segment and this segment, they're insulated, and if you roll a train on it and it goes across those tracks, it makes it switch just by driving over that piece. See, I hope you're seeing the points move. See that how when it's on that second track, it attaches this. The two outer rails get connected by the wheels because it's a solid axle, and it senses that, and that causes it to flip. That was one of the things that was giving me trouble. And I had to get feedback out of the system because of that. Okay, now that's it. Anyway, was there anything else you wanted to hear about this stuff? Probably not. So I'll end this and send it off to you. Bye.